Good morning, students. The second part of this chapter, resources. Next point in this chapter is biogas. Biogas can be generated from the biotic waste materials such as feces of animals and the dead leaves, shells, etc. The energy can be used for the domestic needs such as cooking, heating water, lighting lamp, etc. Some farmers have raised a biogas plant in its own yard to cater to their domestic need. Then that means the substance based energy resources is a biogas. In the biogas can be generated from the biotic waste material. That means this biogas is generated from the waste material such as the feces of animals and the फेसेस म्हणजे आपण जे काही वेस्ट मटेरियल असतं म्हणजे आपण शेणी वगैरे म्हणतो की नाही ते अँड डेड स्लीव्स सुद्धा ऑल्सो यूज केल्या जातात आणि शेल्स एक्सेट्रा. This energy can be used for the domestic need. That means this energy used for the domestic needs such as cooking, heating water, lighting lamp. And some farmers have raised a biogas plant in the own yard to cater their domestic needs. That means some farmers used for this biogas in the own yard to cater their domestic needs. Second substance based energy resources is energy from the waste material. Then waste is generated daily on every large scale in big metropolitan cities. Waste disposal is a major problem in such places. This waste can be used segregated to use the biotic components to generate gas. This gas can be then used for the generate power in future. This may be help the solve of the problem of waste disposal in cities. Also the cities can be become self-reliant in term their power requirement. That means energy from the waste materials. That means waste is generated daily in our very large scale in big. That means waste material are generated in daily in high scale in the metropolitan cities. Waste disposal is major problem in such places. In these metropolitan cities, the waste material is disposal is the high problem in such places. This waste can be generated to use of biotic component to generate gas. म्हणजे ह्या वेस्ट मटेरियलचा यूज करून काय केलं जातं, गॅस जनरेट केला जातो. दिस गॅस कॅन बी युज्ड फॉर जनरेट पॉवर अँड दिस गॅस युज्ड फॉर द जनरेट ऑफ पॉवर इन द फ्युचर. दिस मे बी हेल्प द सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ वेस्ट डिपोजल्स इन सिटीज. आणि भविष्यामध्ये काय केलं जाऊ शकतं, हा प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करण्यासाठी काय केलं जातं, यूज केला एनर्जी फ्रॉम द वेस्ट मटेरियलचा यूज केला जाऊ शकतो. ऑल्सो दिस सिटीज कॅन बिकम सेल्फ रिलायंट इन द टर्म ऑफ देअर पॉवर रिक्वायरमेंट. सेल्फ रिलायंट बनवण्यासाठी काय आहे, हे युजफुल आहे. देन atomic energy, splitting of the atoms of minerals like uranium and thoriums can be used for power generation. In this process, using very small quantity of minerals, energy can be generated on very large scale. Only few countries in the world like India, USA, Russia, France and Japan use the atomic energy. Atomic energy means splitting and the atoms from the minerals like uranium and thoriums can be used as the power generation. That means in the power generation, the uranium and thoriums used in this the power of generations. In this process, using very small quantity of minerals, त्या प्रोसेस मध्ये मिनरल्स काय केले जातात, स्मॉल क्वांटिटी मध्ये यूज केले जातात आणि एनर्जी can be generated on large scale. At that time the high quality using very small quantity of minerals and generate high energy. Only few countries are world like the India, USA and Russia, France, Japan used the atomic energy. And second type of the energy resources is process based energy resources. First is the hydral power. Hydral power is the power obtained from the kinetic energy running water. Hydral power does not cause any degradations of the environment. Also, the water used in generation power can still be used again. Bhakra Nangal in the Punjab and Koyna in the Maharashtra are the example of these hydral powers. That means in these type of energy resources, the power obtained from the kinetic energy. Power obtained कुठून केली जाते? Kinetic energy from running water. That means in this hydral power there were use of the energy of the running water obtained from the kinetic energy of रनिंग वॉटर पासून काय केली जाते? कायनेटिक एनर्जी काय केली जाते? मिळवली जाते किंवा तयार केली जाते. दिस टाइप ऑफ एनर्जी दॅट मीन्स हायड्रल पॉवर, this does not cause the degradation of environment. That means they do not degradation of environment. Also the water used generation of water could still be used again. That means the use of water in this process, the running water used, but this water is used again and again. Here given the example of the hydral power, Bhakra Nangal in the Punjab and the Koyna in the Maharashtra. These two example close to you. That means you know very well this Bhakra Nangal in Punjab and Koyna in our Maharashtra. Best example of this. Then wind energies. Wind energies. Man has been using these resources since hundreds of years, for example in sailboats, but nowadays wind energy is being utilized for power generation. For the power generations and wind speed 40 to 50 km is required. Due to this wind speed, the blades of the windmills turn generation kinetic energy. This kinetic energy is further converted into electricity. That means the second type of the energy, process based energy, is wind energy. Man has been using these resources since hundreds of years. That means the man used these resources ago hundreds of years, but now wind energy is being utilized for power generation. But this energy is used for the power generations. For power generation, wind speed 40 to 50 km it's required. Due to the wind blades of the windmills turn, म्हणजे आपण ज्या पवन चक्क्या म्हणतो की नाही ते फिरतात, त्या कशामुळे फिरतात तर त्या विंड्स एनर्जीमुळे फिरतात. दिस कायनेटिक एनर्जी इज further converted into electricity. That means this kinetic energy converted into the electricity. The electricity can be used in agriculture, domestic use and industries. In the state of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc., windmills have been erected at many places. That means this electricity used for the agriculture, then domestic use and industry in the state of Maharashtra. Here given the state in Maharashtra, in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu. There were given the some state of name of states. Then next process based energy resources is solar energy. You know solar energy get from the sunlight. We get light and heat from the sun. We have seen that intensity of solar energy is maximum in the torrid zone. In the country like India, which is the torrid zone, there is a lot of scope of using the energy. That means we get the solar energy is conceptually related to the sunlight. This is energy is based on the solar or sun. That means we get the light and heat from the sun, and we have see the intensity of solar energy maximum. That means this is, the intensity of this energy maximum in torrid zone, and in the country like India, that means our country India is in the torrid zones, and because of this there are a lot of scope of using this solar energy. There is solar power plant at Shakri in Dhule, district of Maharashtra. Devices like cookers, lamps, heaters, vehicles can be run and solar power. The generation of solar powers depend on intensity of sun rays and the duration of sunshine. That means there are solar power plants. That means you understand solar energy gets from the sunlight and heat, and their solar power plant. Here the given example of solar energy. There is a solar power plant at Sakoli in Dhuye district in our Maharashtra. Device like cooker, lamp, heater, vehicles can be run on solar powers. The generation of solar powers depend on intensity of sun rays. That means the intensity of this energy is dependent on the sun rays or sunlight. Then tidal energy. Sea waves and tides are movement of the ocean's water that goes on continuously. A technology has now been developed to generate power with the help of the speed of force of wave. Here too electricity is obtained from the kinetic energy. This energy is pollution free and everlasting. It can be used at a large scale in a peninsular country like India. Efforts are so short such project in India. The tidals means this energy is related to tides. Sea waves and tides are movement of ocean waters to go on continuously. That means this movement of the tides also goes on the continuously or regularly. The technology has been developed to generate power with help of the speed and force of wave. म्हणजे वेव्हाने ह्याच्या फोर्स ऑब्टेंड करून त्याच्यापासून काय केली जाते, एनर्जी मिळवली जाते. हिअर टू इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ऑब्टेंड फ्रॉम द kinetic energy. That means electricity obtained from the kinetic energy. This energy is a pollution free energy and everlasting. It can be used at a large scale in peninsular countries like India. That means in our Indias they are used in mostly effect are on start project in India's. Geothermal energy. Last point is geothermal energy. Hot water springs have always been an object of curiosity for the man. They can use the anabiotes, Varjeshari, Manikarans, etc. That means here given the hot water spring have always been an object of curiosity for the man. That means the hot water springs use this. This is the क्युरियोसिटी म्हणजे आपण काय म्हणतो ते एक क्युरियोसिटी आहे, उत्सुकता आहे माणसांमध्ये. दे कॅन सीन anabiotes, Vajrasharis and Manikarans are the example of geothermal energies. The temperature in the earth interior increasing by the degrees Celsius at depth of vary 32 meters. Man have now developed a process whereby this underground heat can be utilized to generate power. One such project is located at the Manikarans in Himachal Pradesh in India. All above energy resources are abiotic. They causes minimum pollutions. These are also known as the inexhaustible energy resources. That means the geothermal energy resources, that means hot water spring have also been the object of curiosity. That means hot water spring are also curiosity, make a curiosity for the all of man's, and it is the see the anabiotes, Vajreshwari in Manikarans, etc. are the example here given. That means how this geothermal energy get from this this temperature in earth interior increases by 1 degree Celsius. म्हणजे जे काय टेम्परेचर आतलं इंटेरियरचं जे टेम्परेचर कितीने इन्क्रीज झालं 1 degree Celsius. डेप्थ एव्हरी 32 meters. मॅन हॅव नाव डेव्हलप्ड द प्रोसेस वेअर बाय द अंडरगोज हीट. आणि त्यामुळे मानव काय होतं, अंडरगोजला काय करतो, प्रोसेस करून काय करतो, हीट कॅन युटिलाइज टू जनरेट पॉवर. आणि हीट हे करून ते काय करतो, पॉवर जनरेट करतो. वन सच प्रोजेक्ट इज लोकेटेड इन मणिकरन्स इन हिमाचल प्रदेश इन India. This is the best example of this geothermal energy. All the above energy resources are abiotic. That means this is the abiotic, कधीही न संपणारे किंवा this is the काय म्हणतो आपण प्रदूषण न करणारे. All these energy resources are abiotic. The cause minimum pollution. त्याच्यामुळे काय होतं, मिनिमम पोल्युशन होतं. आता विंडमुळे काय पोल्युशन होणार आहे का, त्यानंतर वॉटरमुळे काय पोल्युशन होणार आहे का, नाही. They also known as inexhaustible energy resources. That means this is also known as unexhaustible energy resources. Thank you.